Supposed to be what,
closer to
68
your
today?
goals and dreams
I was
every year,
68 today.
even when stock, real estate, and other investments double. More than 100,000 Americans using Bank on Yourself, and not one of them lost a single penny in their plans when the markets crashed. In fact, their plans have all been growing safely and predictably every single year. All the details are revealed in a free report that also explains how you can use this to
remember,
get back
you're listening to the Akron Canton,
vacations, a college education, and other major purchases. For a limited time, you can get this report for free at bankonyourself.com. That's bankonyourself.com.
Information is our business, and business is good. News Talk 1480 WHBC.
1, 2, 3. Wait. What's the first line again? Help.
it's time for the Akron Canton Connection on News Talk 1480 WHBC. The Akron Canton Connection, connecting people, connecting businesses, and always highlighting the best in our community. Now, join...
Well, good morning and welcome to the Akron Canton Connection. This is Barry and RJ. Good morning, Rick.
Good morning, Barry. How are you this morning?
I'm doing good.
20 more days till pitchers and catches report, so it's almost spring now.
And the high today is supposed to be what, 68?
75.
75 today.
It's always sunny in Canton.
It's always sunny in Canton. I like that. It's always sunny in Canton, Ohio.
We steal that. Hey, you know what? My wife is listening. JD just turned to me and said that is the Beatles. That for our kickoff song there. So we have a debate between my wife and I whether the second song is the Beatles, right? My wife is saying, Rick, get out of the music business. I have no business. I'm not allowed to have power tools and don't talk about music. So, and, today's show is brought to you by Woodside Pet Cemetery. Our good friend Carol Caprita down at Woodside Pet Cemetery. And, Barry, if you're faced with the death of your pet, there is someone that will love your pet as much as you did. And I encourage you to talk to a Woodside Pet Cemetery. You can see them at woodsidepetcemetery.com. And, of course, give Carol Caprita a call at 330-484-1997. And then one other thing, she called me yesterday. Carol makes floats for parades. That's what and she has a float of the Statue of Liberty, but it's broken down, and she needs someone that has a picture of this float. So if you have a picture of Carol Caprita's Statue of Liberty float out there in Canton, email me at cakkconnect@aol.com, and I'll get that picture to Carol. Okay.
We want to give a shout out to Ryan Tree winning again today.
Ryan is he keeps going like the energy buddy, and he is
Super Ryan.
Super Ryan, that's right. And he can be a co-host anytime he wants. His agent's got to call me, so we'll get him on the air. Jennifer's here, and we'll talk to Jennifer in a second. But Ryan's our 9-year-old friend that just keeps. He is a miracle. He's a living miracle, and we want to get him on the air and have him be our co-host. And
continue to pray for Ryan. Canal Fulton has rallied, and Ryan's doing well.
And we have 2 new sponsors. We're going to talk a little bit about City Splash. We have 2 new sponsors that jumped on board. And Barry, I was called into CC. Everybody knows CC Child's office, and CC Child's at Gaslight Villa. I was called in her office, and
she had a pie for you. Is that why she called you in?
No, you know what she says? Come. No, there was no pie.
No
she
pie.
says, "Come see me." And I know me well enough. Know when I get called into the boss's office, it usually is not really a good thing. And she came on as a major sponsor for us, and I just want to thank everybody at Gaslight Villa for being part of our community, and of course our good friend Donna Boyer, who makes sure that I get her bingo money every week to go to that homeless shelter fund. So she's doing well. How we doing? And then we have later on we're going to have one more major guest. We're going to have call in from the Soul Care Center, Jim Roberts. So we'll talk to him in a little bit. And after that, we know that you have an account at Huntington Bank.
Yes, we have an account at Huntington Bank. You can go in any Huntington Bank and donate to CBC Community Fund. That's CBC Community Fund.
And, we're going to tease everybody, but as of this morning, we have commitments of over $5,000 already. So we're halfway to that $10,000 mark, and we're excited about that. And then we have a meeting with Mayor Ciccinelli tomorrow, and that's going to be fun. And maybe we're going to get him. I have an idea. We're going to have me in a swimsuit, Pastor Barry in a swimsuit, Mayor Ciccinelli. Maybe we get our general manager Larry Gothard, JD in a swimsuit. We could have.
This is dangerous, Rick. I can see the motor.
Yeah, the motor.
Yeah, I can see it turning.
Ryan Treewin, Judge Elam. We can see us stop DJ Magic Mike. We could do the first ever swimsuit calendar edition of the water slides. We could make a fortune. I could see a marketing coup.
I don't know where we'd make a fortune at.
This will be I need a producer for the calendar. JD, can you do calendars? JD gave us a thumbs up, so we're in good shape. Well, Perry, why don't you go ahead and introduce? We met this young lady about 4 weeks ago, and just been a blessing to us. So why don't you introduce our guest today?
Our guest this morning is Jennifer Lindgren, and she's from WKYC. She's a special reporter with WKYC. And Jennifer, it's good to have you with us this morning.
Thank you. So glad to be here. It's exciting.
Man, I tell you, we get luckier and luckier. We're the only radio show, so we bring in like pretty women into the scripts. This works out pretty good. You know, you and I, we have a face for radio. We got Jennifer here. We should like put her on TV.
Yeah.
I wonder if she's on TV.
Well, Jennifer, it was a pleasure the first time we met you. Rick and I both said it was like a friendship just took off. It's like we've always known you.
I know. That's exactly how it's felt. You guys have been great.
Yeah.
Well, you know, Jennifer, tell us a little bit. You heard about the Maslin Homer Show. You were the first person to actually do a story.
Okay.
Tell us about that journey, and then I want to get into a little bit of your career for all you young people that want to get into broadcasting. She has a pretty unique story.
It's a unique career, that's for sure. So, heard about the Maslin shelter. I think I read it in a local paper, actually. There was a mention of what the shelter was going through with they're looking for a new home. They've got a dozen families that this is their home. This is not a place that they go overnight just to spend the night and get it out of the cold. And so we wanted to sort of see if we could bring a little light to what was going on and share the personal stories of the people who benefit from that shelter in the hope of maybe raising some awareness and getting the community involved to try and help them find a new home. And it sounds like we've gotten the ball rolling a little bit.
Well, I have to tell you, Jennifer, we picked up the story when we saw it on your report. I'm a WKYC fan. I don't go to bed till after I hear the news, and we picked it up and got a hold of it, and we've since.
But you guys have run with it.
Well,
really. You've really
Yeah,
taken
you kind of tossed the ball to us.
Well,
You can't underestimate the good people in Maslin and Community Services of Stark County and Affinity Hospital, who really was, took a big hit on this thing, and we've had them on the show and heard their side of the story, and right now City Splash is set for February 26th at the Maslin Rec Center. We get you down there too, so we want you to come on that too. So your story as a reporter, we always we connect and encourage. That's been our motto, and be able to say at the end of the day that we made a difference. And your story got everybody aware, and that to us that was just a godsend.
Well, I think one of the neat things you can do with TV news especially is you can throw people on camera and let them explain what they're going through in their own words. And when you hear it firsthand from people, the challenges that they're facing, but also the hope that they have, I think that's pretty powerful. So I think, I can understand how stories like that can connect with people. And then you guys, have just taken it from there. You have a goal of what, $10,000 in a month, and then in the next month, and you're halfway there. I just think that's fantastic, and
we
I
still
appreciate the updates you're giving me all the time too.
Well, you're on Facebook, so
That's right.
I'm an old guy that gets on Facebook. Who would have thought that social media? We have DJ Magic Mike here that's teaching me everything about Facebook.
Well, that's how we all really connected, isn't it?
Yeah, I think through Facebook. Yeah, so it's been really exciting to listen to your stories, and I want to go back a little bit. How did you start getting involved in broadcast journalism?
Kind of a backwards story, really. I was almost a science nerd when I was a kid, and I wanted to be a meteorologist when I grew up. That's what I decided I wanted to do when I went to college.
I would have sat next to you in class and cheated off your paper.
Well, it's probably good I didn't go into that because I'm actually not very good at science at the end of the day. But anyways, I went to a college where you couldn't major in that, and so I decided, maybe I'll try out this broadcast thing, and then maybe if I want to go to grad school later on, I will. But started broadcast journalism and fell in love with the story writing and the storytelling and the interviewing and the whole process of putting this together and presenting it. And it makes, I was telling you guys earlier, it makes sense because at the end of the day, I've always really liked to write and I've liked to meet people and ask questions. And so it's been a really good fit for me.
And you know what? Go back. Where did you start? You've been in a lot for a young lady. You've had quite a journey.
This is my fourth state in the past 6 years since I graduated from college. I started in Sherman, Texas, tiny little town north of Dallas, population I think 20,000. And
Well, this morning it probably is 75 degrees.
probably, well. And then I went from there to Columbia, South Carolina, which was a really neat experience too. State
68
capital.
degrees
Yep.
there this morning.
Absolutely, and we'll get ready for this one. Then I went to Jacksonville, Florida, right on the beach.
Okay.
75 and sunny,
Our
probably.
listeners are going, what is this woman crazy?
I
And then she
know.
got promoted to Cleveland.
And here I am, living in Cleveland about 6 months ago.
You went from Jacksonville, Florida to Cleveland.
I
So
did.
when you found out you were going to Cleveland, what was the first thought?
You know, I'd never even been up to Ohio before, so I had no idea what to
You
expect.
probably didn't own a coat.
Well, I do. I have a good friend from Mentor, and so she was telling me, you know, it's cold and it snows a lot, and I wasn't sure exactly how much she meant until I actually experienced it. You know, this November. I think when the first snowfall came in November, I was one of the few people who ran outside and ran around in the snow for a few minutes because I was just not used to something like that. But it's been great. It's been
That's
great. It's a good place to be.
Jennifer, you said that the homeless in our communities has a place in your heart.
Yeah.
Why is that? What over the years? Why does that have such a strong place in your heart?
Well, you know, it started a while ago. When I was in college, I was part of an outreach group where we used to. There were a lot of in Austin, Texas, where I went to school. There were a lot of young homeless people who lived on the streets, and what we would do is once or twice a week, we'd go out and we would, you know, take somebody out to lunch or offer them the opportunity to go have lunch, not handing out money, but just giving somebody a meal and just having a conversation and allowing them to share their stories of why they're homeless, if they choose to live like this, or if they're trying to get out of it and change their lives. And you learn that it's a really difficult position for people that face that challenge. And everybody is so interesting. That, you know, everybody comes from this rich background, just like all of us. And to hear them talk about the struggles they faced, but just the way that they're trying to better themselves at the same time, I think it was pretty touching. And I've done a couple stories along those lines since I've been up here. I went out with an outreach group in December on one of the coldest nights of the year in Cleveland, when they were passing out sleeping bags and food and sandwiches to some of Cleveland's homeless. And it was pretty inspiring to see the way people are helping people in those situations.
So this wasn't Cleveland. They were handing out sandwiches and food to people on the street.
Definitely. Offering some of them a ride to shelters if they'd like to spend the night in shelters, and some people said that they actually felt safer on their own. So they were just trying to, make them as comfortable as possible. And I just think. I think if we can do anything in news and journalism and broadcast, we should try and help people, or at least give people the opportunities to help others and reach out. And so, I just find it inspiring to get to tell stories like that.
How does it affect your life? Is there times where you find yourself emotional when you're doing these stories or with these people? Do tears ever come to your eyes, Jennifer, while you're...
They do. Sometimes it's hard to remove yourself from the job a little bit, but I don't know. I think I'm easily affected by people, and I think my heart goes out to a lot of people too, to be honest. And so it's, it can be touching.
That's good.
Jennifer, we have some good news here. We have Walgreens on the phone. I believe it's Mike. Are you there, Mike?
Yes, sir.
Well, Mike, why don't you jump in and tell us what you guys are looking to do to help the Maslin Homeless Shelter, the Family Living Shelter?
With the 7 locations we have in the Kansas Maslin area, what we're going to try to do is for different community fundraising activities, we're going to have like a carnival at our store on wheels.
Kindle Burger.
Car washes and bake sales. And we're going to just try to get the community aware of what they can do, of the amount of money that we need to try to raise, just so that we can give them all the support that we can.
Well, Mike Kindleberger, we have from Walgreens on the phone. Is Kim around? Kim was the first person that called us.
She is actually stuck in traffic.
We got her stuck in. Well, it really is a pleasure to have Walgreens on board at 7 stores. We have that $10,000 goal, and of course, we want to invite all of your clients to come down and be part of City Splash and enjoy the water slides and the day of fun at the Maslin Rec Center. And we have DJ Magic Mike here. Kim was gonna try to chide DJ Magic Mike to come in and do some karaoke there.
Well, we're going to do whatever we can to try to get it out there. We're going to do lots of different, we're going to do fingerprinting for the young ones. We're going to get them the Maslin Fire Department. Hopefully we're going to get them to come out. We're going to take pictures of the children on the fire truck. And just we'll do whatever we can to draw as many different
Well,
different activities.
Mike, it's a pleasure having Walgreens on. And I'm not surprised Walgreens is coming on board. Your sense of community is just overwhelming. And listen, if you need any help announcing anything, you have access to our show and our website, and I'll get that on the website now for you, okay?
We greatly appreciate it.
Okay, well, we
Thanks,
greatly
Mike.
appreciate you. So, there's the other 5,000 maybe. So why don't we just up it to 20 grand now?
That's great.
Okay?
Sounds great.
Mike, thanks for being on board. And make sure you tell Kim, and I believe it's Valerie, that you guys are all part of our family now.
I appreciate it very much.
Thank you guys. Hey, you know what? And we're going to break away for our first commercial here. And I'm Jennifer. Your boyfriend is in Dallas, I believe.
He's in Dallas.
So, Barry and I have a personal jeweler up here in
Okay.
Star Concept. If you need, we'll lend her to you. Her name is Anne-Marie Beers
right.
at Anne-Marie's Fine Jewelry. Her store is across from Central Catholic. So we're getting you located down here in Canton.
All right.
But we have a personal jeweler. We need jewelry. We've been married 30 years, so between us, I think Moses was our pastor in our wedding. But when you need a jeweler, we go to Anne-Marie's and
I'll pass that along to him. I'll let him know.
well, you know what? I'll take him there personally.
There you
so
go. There you go.
He hasn't given you a diamond yet.
Not yet.
The most unique jewelry you could ever find. There, okay. You want to get a hold of
That's
Anna Marie at
exciting to know.
479-9088. And I know Pastor Barry, your grandson, who's what, 6 or 7 now?
He's 8.
And
And he's 8.
didn't he get a hold of you the other day and
Yeah, he's ready to promote some stuff for
promote for stuff?
Anne-Marie,
And
yeah.
we want Anne Marie to know that Valentine's Day, everybody, that Valentine's Day is coming. So forget the flowers. Go buy jewelry.
Well, and I heard that at Valentine's Day you're there in a red suit prior greeting people at the
That's
Anne-Marie
my
store.
red suit calendar photo that I'm doing there. Yeah, so yeah.
Lots of photo calendars going on down here.
Jennifer's looking at me going, I don't get it. Is this guy going to make some money out of it?
I doubt he's going to make any money on it.
This is going to be a bust. Thank God Walgreens is on board.
Yeah.
But you know what? You want to get a hold of Anne Marie and her staff there at 479-9088. It's Anne Marie's Fine Jewelry. It's across from Central Catholic. And again, she's on board to help us with the homeless shelter and the sense of community. But just the fact that we have a personal jeweler, and my wife keeps going, well, where's my jewelry? It's coming, honey. It really is. So God bless Anne Marie for being part of our show and keeping us on board. And of course, we have Brad's Carpet Cleaners. Eva Rochong and Brad Rochong, they're offering all of our Akron Canton listeners, Akron Canton Connection listeners, a 15% discount. The carpets, after all the snow, it's time to get the carpet cleaned. It is going to be spring here in a couple weeks, so we're over the hump right now.
Are we
So,
really?
Yeah, well,
I'm beginning to think it doesn't end.
we're optimistic. We're connect and encourage here. So, the carpet's going to be clean, so you want to call Brad's Carpet at 497-6416, and you can't meet nicer people than Brad and Eva Rochong, and they do their thing very well, and we're just happy that they're on board. And a great Christian family. He has 4 girls, and he's trying to get them all through school. God bless the poor guy. So, Brad Carpet Cleaner, he wants to come out and do work just to get out of that house, probably. So give him a call at 497-6416. We're here with Jennifer Lindgren from WKYC Channel 3 News, and Jennifer is a good friend. I watch the news all the time, so
Oh, good.
can you dish any dirt on Ramona Roberts? Let us know a little bit about Ramona.
I hate to disappoint you, but I can't say anything bad about her. She's a lovely person. She really is.
Come on. How about Betsy Kling?
Betsy's hilarious.
Okay.
Great sense
I
of
kind of
humor.
got that. I can see her being hilarious.
Yeah.
Is she really like
So
the rebel
quick-witted.
rouser there? Is she the one that causes she stirs the pot up there?
A little bit, maybe. No, everybody's really great. I don't know if I have any really good scoop, and not any embarrassing scoop at least. Maybe with some of the guys that work off camera.
Yeah,
They're pretty
we're
funny.
here thinking we're news people now. We have like a TMZ or something here. We thought maybe we'd get the latest scoop. But Jennifer, you're in Northeast Ohio. And one of the funniest things, once I learned that you were from down south, that first report that you did with your coat, your scarf, your hat, and I'm thinking, all we could see was her nose. And she's out. They put her outside. Did they all laugh at you when you did
Oh
that
my
story?
gosh, you want to talk about embarrassing stories. I think by 11 o'clock that night I could barely get my words out. My mouth was so frozen. So yeah, I think there's a little bit of that. She's the girl from the South, so we're going to put her out in the cold and talk about it.
One of the things that we were very impressed about, when you came down and did the story about the homeless shelter, you did all the camera work, all the editing. Did that just come naturally to you, or is that something you would encourage kids that are in school right now to
Absolutely.
learn how to do this stuff?
Absolutely. It's sort of a part of the job these days for a lot of us. You know, they make smaller, faster equipment and, you know, lighter weight for us, you know, smaller people who have a hard time carrying the big stuff. But it's a part of the job, and it's something that they'll teach you in school, but you should really try and pay as much attention to that as you do, you know, the writing and the interviewing in the, you know, the on-camera portion of
I
the
think
job.
that's what we were amazed about. You know, the writing part, you know, I would guess you can go to school and learn how to get better at that, but we were amazed at the way that you moved your cameras around and then everything that you got right into the editing part.
Takes
You know,
a lot
what
of
we saw at
practice.
the end was a great story. So,
Absolutely.
you know, we're going to break away for a break right now. We have Jennifer Lindgren from WKYC Channel 3. Go get a cup of coffee, fill up the cocoa, sit back, tell the boss you need another half hour, and we'll be back after the break.
Remember, you can go online for more information at www.akroncantonconnection.com. We'll be back with more of the Akron Canton Connection in just a moment.